Hey guys, welcome to the Anadrom Coach Spotlight. We're going to be talking to our head coach Yogi today and get a bit of a feeling into why he coaches and what he thinks about Anadrom. Yogi, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, uh, I'm Yogi, Ryan,
Yeah,
Richard. Um, I've been playing League for a really long time since probably the end of season two. Um, the highest I peaked was Masters, probably 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and then since then, probably 2 or 3 years ago, season six or something. Um,
hmm
season five, season six, I think. And after that, I've been like D1, D2, for lack of effort or skill or something or other. I've just
yeah,
been
whatever you
lazy.
want to. Yeah,
Um, I always blame it on local tournaments. You have
yeah,
to
yeah,
be diamond capped, and I was like, do
mm-hmm.
I want to play in tournaments or do I want to be masters?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
No,
love the game. I love helping people. I love, um, doing what I can to
yeah,
share whatever
hmm
information, knowledge I have with other people, and
yeah,
making other people the best that
hmm
they can be, I guess.
yeah. Nice. So when did you start coaching?
Um, Probably
When
like
did it all start?
3 or 4 years ago. Just it
Okay.
started out with friends like, hey, you wanna uh help me get better, because that's how I started playing, was playing with real life friends from high school and stuff like that, and then I got
Yeah,
really good, and then my friends, they were not always as good, like not all of them were
yeah.
as good, so then they're like, oh, hey, you want to help me? I'm like, yeah, sure, man, like,
hmm
I help them, and then like I think it was a big part of just like groups and voice chatting, and then like your friend groups, your Skype
hmm
groups, your TeamSpeak
Yeah, for
people
sure.
you meet, your Facebook groups,
hmm
whatever, right? And I used to play in local lands and stuff, so then people were like, oh, hey, I'll pay you if you help me, right? Because I would win all the tournaments in my area with the help of my teammates and stuff. And then
hmm
people would just, hey, you're really good, and do you coach or anything, right? Because everybody in video game culture knows coaching and
hmm
boosting and everything, that's been around for so long, and they're just like, oh, hey. So that was pretty much around the time when I started playing lands like locally, and then I started driving like state to state to play tournaments, and
Okay.
it was just people really coming to me and saying, do you want to help? And I was like, oh shit, like people actually want my help, and that was like super
No,
cool
for
to me.
sure. hmm
So
So when did you like start playing local in the local tournaments? Was that around
uh
like 3 years ago as well?
Yeah, probably like season five, season six. Uh,
Okay.
just I played with some friends in like really crappy, like like little
hmm
tournaments and like gaming
Yeah, yeah.
shops, like comic book stores and like trading card shops and stuff like that. And then they'd be like, "Oh, hey, like we're playing a league tournament," and then like some gold cap teams would come, and then that was like a
hmm
long time ago when I was still gold, like season three, season four, and I tried it and it
Okay.
was cool, and then like
hmm
after like 2 years I got diamond, and then I
hmm
started playing in the big boy tournaments, and then
Yeah, yeah.
just
You got
one
into like
day.
the
Mhm.
you got like the competitive stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was super cool to me. Like I didn't even know like esports existed. Like I played League for 2 years before I knew competitive League existed. Like I didn't even know
Okay.
LCS and LCK and everything. I don't even think
Oh
LCK was
shit.
created yet, but like LCS and stuff like was going through. Like season one, season two, season three worlds and stuff happened. I was like, whoa,
hmm
like what? There's a whole
Yeah.
like competitive tournaments out there. And
Yeah.
one day, a challenger player, Quantum Physics, he asked me
Uh-huh.
like to play on his team. He's top 40 challenger in North America, and he was like,
hmm
"Hey, you want to come be my jungler for my team?" And I was like, I was a top lane main at the time, and he was like, "We need a jungler. Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Well, I can roll swap. Top 40 challenger is gonna come at me and say, 'Do I
Yeah.
want to play?'" I was like, "Hell yeah, man!" So
hmm
after that day, I guess I switched roles and just started playing with him and never really looked back. But I've slowed down a lot the last like year on playing lands, but I
hmm
still love it. I still love going
Yeah.
out, meeting people and playing, and it's all super
hmm
like fun experience. You go to gaming cons and stuff like that, and there's a lot to do there
hmm
outside of the league tournament themselves. So
hmm
yeah, I guess it's kind of addicting, but it's really fun.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, now we'll sort of like switch over a bit to like the Anadrom side of things and like coaching in general.
Hmm.
So, what's to you? What is like Anadrom about?
The coolest thing about Anadrom, the biggest part of it to me, is community. Like I think just the effort that could be made from everybody just getting together and really wanting to be a part of something to help everybody
Mm-hmm,
is super cool.
mm-hmm,
Like it doesn't exist in my understanding, right? The closest thing would be
mm-hmm.
like Discord, right? Discord's become super
Yeah.
popular over the last couple of years, but to really
Mm-hmm,
have a platform where people can look for those resources to
mm-hmm,
get together, to look for people that are going to help them get better and everything, and people that are
mm-hmm.
also wanting to get better together. I think that's
Yeah.
super unique and super cool. Outside of obviously
Mm-hmm,
like the coaching and everybody having that
mm-hmm.
availability to get better, I think the whole
No.
community aspect of it is super cool, right? Because anywhere you go, you're going to either go for coaching or just strictly one on one or
Mm-hmm,
strictly whatever it is, right? If you want to get
mm-hmm,
boosted, there's somewhere to go to get boosted. If you want to get coached, there's somewhere to go to get coached. But that's
mm-hmm.
business, right? There is no
Yeah, yeah,
family, there is no community, there is no,
yeah, yeah, for
anything
sure,
there. And I think that's the super cool part about Anadrome.
for sure. I agree. So, switching back to sort of like the where you spoke about going from like gold to diamond
Hmm.
within like a season or two. What did you like feel were the like most effective parts of going from like the gold to diamond part?
As in what I did myself or like in the
Yeah,
game.
I mean, like, what did you feel like helped you the most? Right? Was it like the
Mm,
VODs, like pro
just
players? Was it like
giving up sleep, man. Like I spend hours on hours on hours just playing. I watch the pros. I watch the YouTube videos. I read the Mobile Fire guides. I
yeah,
was that guy. Just everybody does it. Everybody's like, how do I
mm-hmm,
get better? Google search, enter, and then
mm-hmm.
they
It's
find
just sort of
whatever's
like
on there. There'll be like a 30 video series on YouTube of some silver player telling bronze players how to get better, and that was me watching those. Man, I was there. I think it's just a little bit of everything. There is no bad content out there. Like obviously there's some that's less educational, less informational, but you learn from it, right? You
mm-hmm,
can watch this guy, and if somebody's not as good as you want them to be, and you can
mm-hmm,
understand, oh hey, this guy maybe not as good, right? He's a gold player and you're
mm-hmm,
looking for challenger advice. You can see the
mm-hmm,
mistakes he's making, and ultimately
mm-hmm,
if you can tell the difference on what he's doing compared to somebody that, is like a little bit better, like Challenger or whatever, um,
mm-hmm,
then that's good. That's a good start, right? Because if you
mm-hmm.
don't know anything about the game, you're coming at it blind. You tell your grandma to come watch this video, she's not gonna know what who and
Yeah,
so is
for
doing
sure.
right, doing wrong. So that's a lot of it. It's just getting the information out there. You watch yourself play, you watch other people play, you watch the pros play, you watch people. You got to watch the bottom of the barrel, you got to watch the middle, and you got to watch the top, and then you got to understand where you
Mm-hmm,
fall, and you got to have the open mind to progress, right? That was the
mm-hmm.
biggest thing when I first started playing. Just like any competitor, I was a Call of Duty player, right? So
Yeah.
the
Okay.
biggest thing of switching into the game was your attitude. You really have to be open to understanding where you are
Mm-hmm.
skill wise and understanding
Objectively.
that exactly that there's
Yeah.
somewhere to go. And
Mm-hmm.
nobody knows it all. Faker doesn't know it all, right? He has a coach,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the best players in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you gotta know that you as Bobby Joe, Jane Doe,
Mm-hmm.
whoever, um, that there's always room to improve. And for me, once I quit being so just selfish and so close-minded about I'm not the best. Once I got
Mm-hmm.
past that and understood that I can get better, I spent a lot of time watching my own replays. I literally probably watched just hundreds of hours of my own gameplay and
Mm-hmm.
just analyze what I did. I'm not saying that that's what made me, better,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
just
It's
being
what
able to
contributed.
accept that, oh shit, like I'm, messing up here and here. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think that was um really eye opening, and like that
Mm-hmm.
was a good
No.
turning point for me.
Yeah, I agree. I went through that myself.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so speaking of like motives of being a coach, what
Hmm.
sort of like uh made you want to, help people improve?
In every aspect of like things that I do, I'm always there to be helpful, you know. Like I
Hmm.
love being there for people. I love talking to people. I love, seeing how people are doing. I always love giving people hands. I'm the guy that goes out of his way to open the door for like a line of 25 people. Like,
Hmm.
I just enjoy
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah, yeah,
making other
for
people
sure.
happy. I enjoy bettering everyone, right? Because to me, it's like, if everyone's better, then that improves the quality of everything, right? If I
Yeah.
work on myself, then I'm a diamond in the rough. Then what, right? There's still all, coal
Hmm.
everywhere.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like that, and it's a lot of. I've had people like come to me and say, "Hey, thank you so much for what you've done. Thanks
Hmm.
for talking to me. Thanks for helping me. Things like, they'll tell me like I was silver when I met you, and now I'm platinum. Now I'm
Hmm.
diamond, whatever, right? And that's
Hmm.
the biggest climb I've had was somebody that was like silver 5, bronze 1 or something. Now they're like plat 3, and they said, "Hey,
Hmm.
like you helped me so much. Like I wouldn't be here because
Hmm.
of you." And like
Hmm.
that's so cool to me. Like just
Yeah.
somebody else coming to me and saying, "Hey, you impacted me in this way," right?
Hmm.
And like that's you can't get that
Hmm.
much like anywhere else,
Of
other
course.
than like having a kid or something. Like you don't get to. That's the closest
Yeah,
thing I
yeah.
got is watching these little
Uh,
internet video game kids just pop
yeah,
off and grow up, man. That's so cool to me.
yeah. Okay, cool. So what are the sort of like how you talk about self betterment and sort of like trying to become sort of like the best coach that you can be,
Hmm.
right? What are the qualities of an ideal coach in your opinion?
Mm, just got to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to be understanding, and you have to just be personable. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people like I compare like LS, right? Like LS
Mm-hmm.
and like in Smash community, right? If I don't know if anybody out here plays Super Smash Brothers, but like
Mm-hmm.
Mewtwo King, right? There's people like
Mm-hmm.
that that are so like robotic, so analytical
Mm-hmm.
about X,
Mm-hmm.
Y, Z, and they know a lot. They are very talented people for sure, but a lot of people learn different ways. And for me, the methods that I've discovered work the best for me in my
Mm-hmm.
situations is just being personable with people. You have to be able to understand where they're coming from. You need to be able to talk to
Mm-hmm.
them in a way that's on an even playing field, right? You got to be an even
Mm-hmm.
level. There is no
Mm-hmm.
one's greater than the other. Obviously, like you're there to teach and
Mm-hmm.
correct, but it's not a disciplinary thing. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
um, like what I say goes. There is no other, right? You have to
Mm-hmm.
be able to exchange and back and forth and say, hey, these are things that I think, these are things that you think. Let's see where we differ. Let's see why we differ and figure that out, and then we'll come to a unison conclusion. And I think just having that persona. Uh, just being
Connection.
able to, yeah, exactly, talk on like a more personal level, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's super better. That's super
Mm-hmm.
better. That's better for everyone because it's super like
Yeah.
efficient. Like people
Uh-huh.
like feeling like they're not dumb.
Mm-hmm.
People like
Yeah, yeah.
you know feeling like
Mm-hmm.
they're getting better, and
For sure.
uh you can. It's like short-term memory versus long-term memory, right? Like you can drill short-term memory drills, like when you're studying for homework. You can cram it in the
Mm-hmm.
night before, take the test, but in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're gonna forget all that information, right? But when you're
Yeah.
enjoying yourself and you're having a good time, you can really sit down and settle on
Mm-hmm.
what think is right, and now what you're enjoying, and then what you're actively applying, whatever, you retain that and you keep that forever, and you get to enjoy yourself more. And I think that's just a better experience overall for both the coach and the players.
Yeah. Very good points. I agree with a lot of them. So considering both sort of like the ideal coach and the more average coach, what do you feel holds back the average coach? So we're not talking about sort of like how you gave LS for an example, right? More sort of like the coaches who don't have as much experience, who sort of like are still getting into the scene,
Hmm.
right?
All right.
What do you think is holding them back from becoming sort of like the ideal coach you pointed out?
Yeah. Real quick, I don't want to go on record saying I called LS an average coach because I think LS is a great coach. Just
Yeah,
I think his methods are a lot different than mine, right? And
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
that
for
guy
sure, for
has a
sure.
lot more game knowledge than me, probably. Like he's a
Mm-hmm,
very smart and talented individual.
mm-hmm.
Besides that, so your everyday
Yeah.
Joe, right, coach trying to come through, potentially like
Mm-hmm,
coaches that we would pull through to Anadrom, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, it's just experience. Ultimately, it's experience. Just like anything else, you're gonna learn how to knit. You're gonna learn how to
yeah, yeah.
row. You're gonna learn how to play
Mm-hmm,
basketball. You're gonna learn. It's just muscle memory. You gotta go
mm-hmm,
through the drills. You gotta practice. You gotta have the
mm-hmm,
experience of messing up. You gotta have the experience of what goes right. And then on top of that, it's the same stuff, just the personality traits. You got to be able to be patient, right? If you're just
mm-hmm,
upset with people, like I've had coaches, right? I played on amateur teams in the past
mm-hmm,
that were playing for open qualifiers, right? And we were trying to get into the Challenger Series. Um, and like I had a coach that came through and he just day one yelled at us. And I said, listen, like that's not okay. Like I booted him from our organization. Like I just told him right there. We were in a meeting. My team owner was there. My head coach was there. Both of my rosters were there. Like two rosters of the organization were there. And there was this new coach
mm-hmm,
that came in and he was talking to us. And we messed up in the game, right? We were playing a scrim and then we
mm-hmm.
messed up. Like specifically, I had Rift Herald, and then I was trying to
Okay.
ward jump as Lee Sin. It was right when Rift Herald came out, and I was trying to ward jump, and I placed the Rift Herald. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, ah, like I'm just sitting there channeling my Rift Herald, and then like after that, we won the game. Like we stomped the game. It was like 30 kills to like 4 or something. Like we trashed it,
Mm-hmm,
right? And then
mm-hmm,
like afterwards the coach came through and just like yelled at us like that was the worst. Like what are you guys laughing about it? I'm like some drill sergeant boy. And ranks don't always matter, right? But this coach was gold 3 or something, like
mm-hmm,
gold 4, coaching a full
mm-hmm,
masters roster. Like the not full masters, not full masters. We had some diamond players. But like diamond to masters roster. You know what I mean? And
mm-hmm,
he's just yelling at us like what do you how am I gonna respect you when your first impression is just you
mm-hmm,
yelling at me over something so minuscule? You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Like if I
mm-hmm.
came through and you found I don't know like I did you wrong, right? Like I slashed your tires, like yell at me, right? But if
Yeah.
we mess around and we have one little accident in a game, you can't
Mm-hmm,
make that your hill to fight on. You can't make that your
mm-hmm,
spilled milk to cry over,
mm-hmm,
and I think that's something that a lot of people just they either have it or they don't. You got to be able to
mm-hmm,
just understand which battles are worth fighting for, which fights are worth taking, what points you're going to argue over, what little things you're going to harp on, And I did that too. Like I had the mistakes. I learned. I had people tell me this is important. This isn't important. Hey, I don't care about this.
mm-hmm,
Hey, I want you to do more of this, and that's it.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
ultimately, it just comes down to like I think naturally how your personality is, and then whether or not you're able to adapt once you see what you're
mm-hmm.
good at, what you're bad at, and then
Yeah.
just the experience of coaching in and of
Mm-hmm.
itself.
Yeah. Feedback super important in improvement,
Hmm.
right?
Of course.
So speaking about feedback, and sort of like all the different experiences you've had as like a coach with like coaching different players, what do you feel was like your most rewarding experience?
Mm, coaching, playing, well, in what regard?
Let's say, yeah, as a coach.
As a coach, for sure, it was just it's people coming back to me
Mm-hmm,
and telling me how much I impacted them, how much they improved because of me, so they think, right? And I'm always gonna tell them it's yourself, like I'm a
mm-hmm,
guide. I'm not pushing your buttons. I'm not moving your mouse. I'm not holding your monitor up. I'm not rubbing your feet while you
mm-hmm,
play. Like I'm
mm-hmm,
telling you what the information's already out there, and I'm just telling you what it is, and then it's up to you to apply it. And
mm-hmm,
just having those people come to me and just thank me for helping them
mm-hmm,
out, I think that's the best part for sure.
mm-hmm. Okay. So like Anadrom's all about sort of like promoting that group coaching stuff. right?
Mhm.
And like having that community place and having somewhere like I can go to meet another four players and get better at the same time,
Mhm.
right? So what do you feel is like are like some of the benefits of group coaching over one-on-one coaching?
Um, a lot of it is tension of like personalities and stuff, and obviously they can have a lot more. What am I trying to say? There's a lot of variables when you put five strangers, right, with each other,
Mm-hmm.
up to
Mm-hmm.
five strangers that don't know each other in the same group to then do the same thing. But think about it
Mm-hmm.
like school, right? When you go to school, uh, there's people that you're gonna like and people that you don't like. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna like your class. That's how you make friends, right? Everybody went to school and you had, most people had at least one friend that they made, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, people that they tolerated enough to just sit around with at school and hang out with and spend time with, right?
Yeah.
And that's just how people work. That's just how the social settings work. So the way I see it is the people that you didn't like, or typically people that didn't want to be there, that didn't agree with you on this, that, or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the difference on Anadrom is for the most part, everybody that's there wants to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no incentive to sign up otherwise.
Yeah.
Um, Moving forward, Anadrom, like, we'll have the one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. But as for the group
Mm-hmm.
coaching, everybody that signs up for it wants to be in that group,
Mm-hmm.
theoretically, right? You pick,
Yeah.
your time, your day, the fact
Mm-hmm.
that you want to be there, and now everyone's
Mm-hmm.
excited to learn together. So I think it's cool that you can have the um, opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
sit there and meet these new people. And at the end of the day, we all play the same video game, right? League of Legends all about making friends, and well, I mean, it's about being the best, right? Everyone wants to be rank one.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, enjoying the video game to its
Mm-hmm.
core is just spending time with
Yeah.
people that you want to be around and enjoying this video game that you choose to spend your free time playing.
Mm-hmm.
And Anadrom really offers, like, opens a really big window, really big door, really
Mm-hmm.
big airplane hangar, whatever you want to call it, to really have the ability to meet people and really grow your friendships, your friend base, your friend circles, your friend
Mm-hmm.
groups. It ultimately you're not going to love everybody that you meet, but now you have this opportunity where you're pseudo forced to spend time with these people,
Mm-hmm.
and chances are you're going to like a lot of them, and that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. And you know that's a good opportunity for a lot of people, especially in the video game world where not everyone, but a lot of people are a little more introverted, right? Staying at home playing games, to
Mm-hmm.
then have this opportunity, this avenue of socializing that
Yeah.
is super interesting and super unique, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really cool. Like, I think a lot of people will get a lot out of that, and that's really um, cool for groups
Yeah.
to have that, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I kind of just went on a tangent there, but I think
It's
that's
all good.
really
It's all
cool.
good.
Sorry, did I
Uh-huh.
answer your question? I think it was about
Yeah,
group
yeah.
coaching. So
Yeah,
you get to be
yes,
with
definitely.
more people. Everybody loves
Yeah,
people. You get to make
yeah,
friends. You
yeah.
get to. The other part of it is a lot of people get coached in one-on-one sessions for like one role, one champion, one thing. Right? That's usually how it
Mm-hmm.
is. And maybe not one like champ,
Mm-hmm.
but typically just your role. So when you're with five other
Mm-hmm.
people, all five roles are going to be filled. You're going to know a
Mm-hmm.
lot more about not only your role, but the other four roles in the game. And then that
Yeah.
gives you a lot more of a, like, it broadens your perspective on how the game is played overall, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows, right, that even at the highest level of play, people still focus on their characters, people still focus on their lane. Like, there's a lot of people out there that literally play lock screen, but even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, you're still sitting there holding your space bar or whatever, keeping your camera focused. Like, even if camera in and of itself isn't on your screen, your eyes are focused somewhere, right? So
Yeah.
you're sitting there staring at your CS, clicking it, right? And then out of nowhere, you get thresh hooked, and you're like, "What happened?" It's like, well, you're just farming. You're
Yeah.
tunneling on farm. You're sitting
Uh-huh.
there focused on your trade. Jungler ganks. Oh my god, 3v2
Yeah.
bottom. Where's my jungler? Like, so
Yeah.
having that being able to broaden your perspective on, oh, well, hey, jungler's doing this at this time. Oh, mid lane works like this. Oh, top lane works like this. Oh, bot lane
Yeah.
works like this. You can then see, because all the roles affect each other. So
Mm-hmm.
being able
For
to
sure.
hear like what the coach is saying to all the other players obviously makes
Mm-hmm.
you better at those roles, right? Or gives you more information about those roles. But it also affects your main role because you know how everyone
Mm-hmm.
else is interacting on the map.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. So sort of like talking about the group coaching as a like the actual method of group coaching as a coach.
Hmm.
What do you take into consideration? What do you think is the thing that a coach needs to take into account when coaching a group of people
Uh,
that don't necessarily already know each other?
just time efficiency. Like, obviously our sessions will be like timed, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just how you spend it. There isn't a lot of time to mess around. Like, obviously you can have fun and stuff, but you can't focus like on one role too specifically. You can't whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's about just being able to um, well, I guess on one side of it is being able to give enough information to everybody, but I think your question was how does the coach handle the group
Mm.
sessions,
I
right?
mean, like sort of like what do you think the feel is like the most important part of it that you
Just
would like
game
as a
knowledge.
coach
You have to have the game knowledge, obviously, and understanding of all of it,
for
and
everyone? Yeah.
then just the ability to do it, I guess. Just being able to not
Mm-hmm.
only understand like how all the roles play out, but then how to explain it, right? How to express that, how to
Mm-hmm.
help people, and that's
For
hard.
sure.
But
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's pretty much the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And so, like, just to sort of like finish off the whole video, what do you want to see Anadrom become in the future?
Just a happy community, man. That's like the biggest thing for me. Like I'm a happy guy. So if I find a bunch of people that are wanting to spend time together and get better together and then end up playing games together and they love hanging out, then that's cool with me. That's
Mm-hmm.
like obviously I'd like to see it just be just a big successful group, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
um a really big opportunity for Anadrom to really be um, just game changing for how people interact with each other, right? Moving forward, you think about other games, there's going to be the Anadroms rip-offs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's I guess what'd you say like what's my goal for Anadrom, I guess,
Ooh,
is just
yeah,
to see just people rip off Anadrom in the future because this is where it started where
yeah.
oh
Mm-hmm.
hey, you can make a really big community of people that want to get together and hang
Mm-hmm.
out, get better, play games. And that'd be really, really cool to see, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So it was fun getting to interview you. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Of course.
So where can people find you on your social medias?
I'm not too big on social media, but if you're gonna look me up, I think my Twitter is at Yogi Bear with an H, YHOGGIBEAR, Bear, right? That's how you
Okay.
spell it. And then
Yeah.
I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/Yogi, YHOGI.
Okay. Great. Thanks a lot, Yogi.
And thank you so much.